I'd like to call the meeting to order, the Mass Transit Commission, Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. I think we have a roll and we have a quorum. So with that, I don't think there are any appearances since we're the only ones here. So we'll just go immediately to unfinished business and the ridership report, Mark.
Yeah, with the ridership report attached, last meeting we went through June, so this is July, August, September. So with the Monona Express, over 214 for the month of August. It was, decreased because it's a change in the routes. But then the routes came back in September, except for Loop 1. So that's an increase to 364. So it's still down from last year a little bit, but it's increasing. So it's a good sign. And the Monona lift, both August, September, 517, 511, look at August. I think it's one of the third highest since 2013, 2016, and then 2022, and then 2000, and then September. It was an increase from last year. It's in the 500s, which is comparable to 2013 to 2016.
So we have an increase in lift generally.
Yes.
Okay. Anything on the ridership report that people have questions about? Okay. And we'll go to 4B, the first student update.
Yeah, just wanted to know, for the month of August, they were down their riders still. So now here's September, they're full go except for Loop 1. Eventually they'll come back online. It's just working everything out with their drivers. So we are full go right now with for students. We have a couple new drivers right now.
So does that mean, Mark, that we've been running all 4 routes in the AM and PM on the Express?
Except for Loop 1 of the AM route right now is still down.
Okay, so we're doing 3 of the 4 loops a day?
Yeah, so 7 of 8 total for the whole day.
Oh, okay. Good.
Just the earliest one in the morning right now. Is not down. They asked me if they could just hold that for now, just because they're getting where they're doing their riders right now. Their drivers, I mean, so they asked if they could hold on Loop 1 for now. I said that was fine until we can get your situation with their drivers.
But they did hire enough, so it's just a matter of scheduling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just a matter of kind of getting them all up to speed and working their times out with working.
Okay. Great. Any questions on first student? Okay, we'll go ahead, go to 5A, under new business, update on Madison Metro public hearing dates.
So they're going to be October 20th and 25th. We did send a postcard out. It was Wednesday, so hopefully you'll receive them here any day now. We also blasted it out today. It was also blasted out through our system. So I think a lot of people did receive that, because I did get, besides the one you have, I had some other people contact me. So we are
The alert system?
Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah.
And have we done any PSAs on WMO or anything like that?
No, we did not. Right. We have not. This is only just 2. We have not rescheduled the senior one. Hoping to reschedule that sometime in November. So it's going to work a date out with.
And Mark, just so I've got locations and times correctly, so that's October 20th at 6 p.m. at the senior center. Is that right?
No, 6 days. We haven't rescheduled the senior center one yet. So both of them are at the library community room from 6 to 8 on the 20th and 25th.
Okay, great. 20th and 25th. Cool.
And we did, I did meet with Metro. We've been trying to hammer out locations of where the bus stops we're going to most likely be. And I don't know if I'd be able to share. I want to share where we kind of been looking at with Metro. We have one area we're kind of having problem issues with. Is everybody able to see the screen? at all?
No.
Go back to Zoom. You have to go onto the share screen and don't go to the green button where there you go.
Oh,
There you go. And then you're gonna open, then you click the map.
Can you see that map now? Probably not. Nope.
If you click the
Oh,
map,
there's the map there.
there's the map, and then go, no,
Oh,
There you go. Now we can see your screen sharing.
sorry. Thanks. Anthony. So you sat down with the planners, couple planners with Metro, trying to figure out where the best routes were, best locations for stops and what issues they thought they would have. The first one coming down here in Stoughton Road. I told them we wanted one right around here because we're gonna have a development right around this area. They did not like that. They wanted it right here where there's a crosswalk and sidewalks. They preferred that for now, so some people would have to walk. So this location right here is where they want a stop. Because there is a stop, there is a sidewalk and a crosswalk to get across the street. And we talked about a location down here a little bit further at the Taylor. This is actually Madison, and they're okay with putting a stop right around here. It's not popping up. If I get rid of this. Right around here, we're gonna put a stop in. And then right around here in Roselawn, this area right here, for another stop. And then we turn it on Frostwoods, or Ephemerate. That one. So we turn on Frostwoods. Why is this map doing this?
You lost the
Yeah, where did the map go? Wow. So we're gonna put one right around this area right here, this location, which is the Frostwood area. Because there's a signalized intersection right there, and they wanted one right there, and there's a sidewalk right there where they can get on. And then down here to Owen. You would turn here, so you turn here, and there would be another stop sign right around here, or a location right around here. But this was the big, what's that?
That's really excellent because the senior community is right there and the incoming new buildings that are going to be built across the street. That's going to be great. Good.
And this is the hard part. They couldn't really find the location they wanted to stop from Owen all the way down to Winnequa. So I'm thinking I kind of want to ask you where you think right here at Bridge. Location, they didn't want one until down here by Winnequa and Owen.
We've been
Doug?
walking, I've been over there a lot lately because that's where the detour is taking you. And it's kind of a funky spot.
Yeah, and that was their concern.
mid-morning.
I don't know.
No,
No, that's an unusual intersection too, but all of it really, Owen is kind of a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's one corner at, I can't zoom in, but you see where St. Stephen's Lutheran Church is?
Yeah.
That church goes all the way to the intersection of whatever that north-south road is in Owen, you know, and there's a
Right here.
possibility.
I like that
But
spot.
again, they're looking for places with sidewalks and there are
Oh.
none,
There
right?
aren't any
Yeah.
sidewalks around here at all, though. There's
Yeah.
none.
Yeah.
Well, and
But I
was
like
thinking-
that because it's in front of kind of a institutional property,
Yeah.
not a
And
residential property. There's lawn there.
It's
there's
it's
space.
a huge lawn, actually, and if there had to be a little pad created or something, it would be pretty easy to do, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
For
I mean,
people
I
to
think
stand
there's
on, but that's a good
some-
intersection.
I think there's some logic in kind of sticking to Bridge Road, because I think the other piece of this too is that there are going to be people walking up Bridge Road in order, or up Winnequa in order to catch the bus, right? Because there's a lot of community in Monona that's south of there that may catch the 16 or whatever it turns into, but might also be walking up Bridge Road to catch a bus. So I can see that that might be an advantage of actually having it at the intersection of Bridge and Owen, but that intersection is not an easy place to get a pad in if they have to drop a cement pad.
Could you click the layers in the lower left corner and turn on the satellite image?
So this, no, that's not right.
That's,
Well,
no, you had it. You had it.
yeah.
I would
So you're
just,
talking-
I get what Addie's saying too. I just,
Are you talking about right here? Because that's where we have current stops.
the bus is coming from the east on Owen. Is that off of Monona Drive? Is that correct?
So there's gonna be a stop right around here. There's gonna be a stop in this
Oh.
stretch right through here.
I guess then I don't think the church is appropriate because it's too close.
That's
Too
why,
close, yeah.
that's why we leave them on the Bridge Road was the next logical stop. And they thought maybe this Midmore area right here, but that's a weird.
I think it works.
The Midmore
It's
one?
okay. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's very open there because of the weird intersection. So there's a lot of visibility.
Right.
I don't think it would be bad to have a bus stop right there.
Yeah, I only know the homeowner at the intersection of Owen and Bridge. I don't know many of the homeowners there on Owen Road headed west. So yeah, I'm at a bit of a loss to suggest something there.
I mean, I don't
So
know
where
that
did they
we should take into account who owns what house. I don't know. I mean,
Oh,
nobody.
I just mean, sorry, Doug, I just mean I haven't been around, walking around that
sure.
neighborhood that much.
Sure,
Sorry.
sure. I'm sorry.
So once they get to Midmore, remind me where the route is
So they
again.
go down here,
They go down all the way down to Winnequa
Winnequa.
on Owen.
right, so down here to Owen, and then we're switch here, and they're gonna put a stop in with the new sidewalks, they'll be putting a stop in here too. In this area. They thought it was the best. And then keep on heading down, maybe a stop, they think maybe right here, this area. Or more close to this park. And then up there, so our current map, our current bus route has a stop right here. They want to know if we want to keep that spot or just move that from this park all the way down to Healy. So they were thinking a spot right here too, and then down here at Healy.
Lots of houses in there, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that far of a walk. I mean, so you're gonna have this area and you're gonna have over here, you're gonna have one, two, and I prefer maybe down to Healy. That's what I say, so maybe just skip this and put down to Healy.
Are we responsible for financing the stops, or did they say how many stops they can do in an hour that we're limited to?
We can put as many as we want. You said if you can do this route, we find new stops, we can put them in later on.
Right, I'm assuming if there's a timing issue, if they're having to do this route every hour, that, they can't have 20 stops. So I
Right.
didn't know if they said. shoot
If
for
someone's
no
waiting
more
at,
than-
yeah, I was gonna say, if someone's waiting at every stop, I think this is a huge success.
Right. I agree, but I'm just thinking that if they said to us, can you shoot for no more than 10 or no more than 8 or whatever, it would give us a better idea of how far apart we should be.
No, we talked about this, when I talked about the stops, they weren't concerned about that at the time. But it was
Okay.
only ones we mentioned so far, and they did say, okay, if you guys want to add stuff later on, we can do that, because when we get to later on, when we get going back to Madison, we're not really gonna stop, so
Mhm,
that saves up a lot of time.
mhm.
So then they were thinking, okay, Healy. So the problem is the bus goes down this way, so the stop has to be on this side.
Mhm.
So we're looking at right around this area. So we don't like it right at the turn, so it's usually gonna be right around here. And then they thought, come down here, and then right in front of the pool area, this area with the senior center, kind of the campus and all the crosswalks. They thought this was the best area up here. This is the other one. They thought they wanted to go way over here. They wanted to stop. We want to get a stop in here. So I was thinking, this is the other area we couldn't think of the best one. Between here. So they want to stop at this current bus stop here.
Hey, Mark. On the
Yes.
Zoom, we've got like a second delay between your audio and your video.
Oh,
Would you
sorry.
mind like telling us where you're pointing? Because like where the mouse is going is not where you're speaking.
Oh, okay. So this is Nichols right here. And then, so we're gonna stop at the campus area, right by the pool area. So they want to stop, we need to find a really good stop between the campus area and then Dean and Winnebago, where our current stop is over here. So,
I think that spot right before Progressive is maybe okay.
Yeah,
and that's,
I don't know. I don't know how you pick. Near
Well,
intersection makes sense, I guess, but
yeah, and one of the things they're looking for is ease of a sidewalk or a crosswalk or single line or stop sign, any type of traffic enforcement. They prefer those type of things.
there's stop
we don't
signs.
have-
Yeah, there aren't any. There's no stop signs
Yeah,
there.
And we brought up this one, this is where we brought up was Progressive because of the east of Fireman Park area and then kind of that area too. And then going down from there, they would stop here at Dean and Winnebago, which is our, as you see, there's a current stop. I don't know if you can see.
yeah.
There's a current stop right there.
Yep, that stop works real well, and I think it's pretty well used, if I remember correctly, from my time riding the express at least.
Yeah. And they kind of wanted to follow our route, so they said, well, we can stop here too at Midmore.
That's good.
And then the other one was, and then here, I'll pull this down a little bit, would be at the Gordon area right here, and this will be a development probably. They're looking to develop this area right here. So the bank and the antique mall. So they said we can keep this route. And then from there, you don't go down Monona Drive. And then we'd stop at the school. Or that's that thing that lights up where you can cross it. I can't remember what they call it, but right there. And then we tried to take a look at where can we stop from there to capture San Damiano. Oh, I got it all mixed up. This is where we couldn't really figure out either is this is Madison's side, and they couldn't find really just highlighting the map, they couldn't really find an area to stop.
I think
On
it should be
Madison
right
side?
in front of Crema Cafe so that hopefully it's quick enough that I can like run in and get a coffee and I'm joking.
So then the stop was be the school and then right here down by the Muskie Lounge, which is down this area right now. Just because they didn't think there was a way they could make it stop.
I think that.
I agree. I don't think it would be safe to stop at Winnequa Road there.
Unless you put in some type of traffic calming device or it's signalized intersection somewhere. That was their concern.
Yeah. I don't think there's anywhere good along Monona Drive to stop, really.
No, it's a good strode, so.
And then
I would leave it.
then
I guess I
goes,
would leave it up to the experts. I wouldn't suggest anything. I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't want anything, so he said, well, we'll have down here by the Muskie Lounge or this area down here and then the school. So there's a walk in between, so we live in the walk. That was it. Let me I'm gonna close out of this one. And look up to think it's just other map up. This one, can you see this map too now? Or not?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep,
with the lines on it.
yep.
So
Ah,
that's,
yay. Okay.
so here we go, this is where the, Lake Edge Point, Muskie Lounge area. So we didn't have any stops from there all the way to this area. So that's where we kind of pick up our steam, where we don't have to worry about, we don't have any stops there, so they don't have to worry about. They can make their route in time within that 30 minutes.
And there's a lot of overlap in there with other Madison existing bus routes, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
So remind me too, in terms of existing routes, there is gonna be another route that comes across on West Broadway, correct?
yeah, they'll come down here and then it'll go up here to lunch. Oh, then changes here at Flom and goes this way, I believe. That's one of the routes, and another one goes one over by the Cottage Grove Road. I don't remember exactly where it's at, but
So there'll be a bus that's coming across Broadway and then goes up Monona Drive?
yeah,
And so are there stops there for,
yeah. So I was working with the planner. They said they'd give us those stops. They haven't told us which ones they would be.
okay, and then they're gonna take a right on Flom?
Yeah,
Okay,
and that's one of those quick routes. So that's like a 30-minute route. So the new metro things, they have different speeder routes. There's like the main routes are like 30 minutes, and this one is basically an hour route. A lot of them are, sporadic too. So, well, the one that goes through Broadway to Monona Drive to Flom will be one of their main routes.
okay.
So that'll run more continuous. This hour route. So they'll have information on that at the meeting too. We'll have kind of areas where we're not the exact pinpoint, but they'll be like within a certain distance where stops will be.
So my question is, from your discussions with them, I think we've gone through this before, but are they setting the agenda for these or I assume that since they've been doing these in all kinds of communities, they might have a set agenda that they
have a presentation.
have a presentation that
Yeah.
they, okay.
They said we get, go on.
Yeah, and Doug and I had worked together, if you remember, to put together that like side-by-side comparison sheet. Is that
Absolutely,
something
yeah.
that
Yeah,
we're going to
Yeah.
use?
Yeah, so that's actually part of the flyer too. So the flyer has it on there's front and the back, it's on the flyer. And that's gonna be, well, we're doing a big poster board of that too, so that's part of the things we'll have. And a
I'm
copy
going
of
to take a selfie and send it to my mentor from grad school.
And we'll have the map too, a big blown up map too at the same time, so.
Good.
So I think they're on board, they'll have 3 or 4 people there. Like you said, people who've done these presentations before, so.
so let me just say before we, that I want to apologize on behalf of the city, because I know that we've had some fits and starts while I was away, in terms of, because we had set previous dates at the senior center, library, or whatever, and I know that some members like showed up or didn't know that it was canceled, and yeah, thank you, and I apologize. I mean,
Yeah, that was my fault.
should have been better communication.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're finally happening, but I'm sorry that it didn't work out in September.
I'm just so excited to move forward that I'm like, yay, we get to have a hearing and keep moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So any questions about what's gonna happen on a public hearing?
I just want to say, Addie, have you not been to a public hearing before?
Yeah,
'Cause
it might
I
not-
don't
I've
know
been
if
to
yay
a
is the
bunch
right.
for Winnequa and those sort of things. Yeah.
It's gonna be an entertaining night or 2 nights. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, and that was kind of one of my questions. I mean, can I ask like what kind of feedback could we be hearing from the community in order to, scrap the plan entirely, go with it as it is, or something in the middle. Like what kind of feedback, what are we going to do with all the feedback we get?
So, well, first of all, I would say to Doug's point, I would say that, you know, anything that we can do as committee members, as transit commission members, to get the word out to our social networks and people that we know are potentially in favor of this plan, or even if they want it, you know, just generally, I think, and encourage them to come to this meeting. Because what we, you know, sometimes what happens is that, like, the people that are all for it go, oh, great, they're doing a public hearing, or they're doing a public, you know, open house. And then the people that are against it, or the people that are really struggling with it, are the ones that show up, and it ends up being not necessarily a good balance and makes it more challenging. I don't know that.
Sometimes you get more negative feedback than you.
Right, than positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you get more negative than positive, right?
Yeah, because of certain groups.
Because of certain people that decide to show up. So, it's just really important if people think this kind of real mass transit for Monona is an important thing. You know, I would encourage your friends to come weigh in. Are we going to be streaming it or on Zoom with it?
I can talk to Bill, see if we can. And I'll talk to, I suppose it can, Zoom, you know.
Right. And Maddie, I'm not sure that there's an answer to that. I think it's the open houses that we've done previously, the hearings that we've done previously are to get community feedback, but it's not like the community gets to vote yay or nay, you know, and because it's more of like advisory feedback than it is, you know. I suppose if there was a huge outpouring of this is crazy, we should never think of this, blah, 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 that obviously that might alter our decision, but and we'd certainly take that into account, but you know, it's definitely more of an advisory role and also helpful for them, you know, for us in terms of the route, and for Madison Metro to say, you know what, that stop you were thinking about really doesn't work. Or like with the bike ped plan, which is the thing that I can relate to the most in terms of, I mean, I think we had like 70 people maybe at each one of the public meetings, open houses. And each and every time people that were looking at the different places that Monona was considering sidewalks and the priority and all of that, as they were looking at the maps, you know, they had an opportunity to weigh in, and they definitely were given the opportunity to make recommendations in terms of the route or in terms of the stops or whatever, that ended up being valuable in the same way that we've done, in the same way that the staff has done. So hopefully that's the case.
Good.
Has anybody
Sorry
heard
for
anything negative about it?
being sorry I was negative. I didn't mean to be totally negative about it, but I also agree that we should try to find people that we know that one way or the other, we should just try to get a good public turnout so there's value in having the session.
That's right. Exactly. It's not a matter of like just the fours and the fours are against, but you're right. It's just it's nice to get a good number of people regardless of how they feel. And I'm willing to bet that there's a fair number of people that don't. I mean, even the plan commission, which I chair, didn't, until I announced it on Monday night, didn't know that there was actually a serious proposal on the table. Madison Metro had, you know, that we were working for months on it. Because we've had developers come forward and say, well, if there's a bus stop nearby, it would be great, because we definitely have a lot of developers coming forward these days. And you know, a few members of the planning commission were just a little cynical because they've heard Madison Metro was actually going to stop in Monona before, and it's never happened. So I announced, you know, at the planning commission meeting on Monday night, the 20th and the 25th. Encourage people to attend.
Yes.
But but it has been something that Monona has talked to Metro about for years. And, so anyway,
Yeah, the one downside, I wouldn't be surprised, this has happened before, is first student buses in all their seniors, because they've done that before.
oh.
So. I
Wait,
wouldn't be
who does?
So we had, like, years ago, when I first started, there was a proposal to kind of eliminate some of the transit system and first students. At the time, they had bus loads of seniors came to a city council meeting. And then, I've been talking to them and they want to keep the contract, and so don't be surprised if they, get the seniors in. So it's, bus them in, or some people who are.
Not necessarily our seniors, but any seniors?
Well, the people that
Right.
who use the system, so. it'd be-
Okay,
So,
but the senior center knows that we're gonna have one at
Yeah.
the senior center, right?
Yeah.
Diane's working on it.
yeah, we're
Okay.
there. So that could happen, so. There will be some feedback there, so, but it's always good to hear from people.
I think, because my sense is that most of the feedback that we've gotten so far. I would say most of the concerned feedback that we've gotten so far, besides, I don't want a bus driving down my street. Which doesn't, is. Concerned about this, right, about lifts
Seniors.
and then seniors, understandably. And so it seems to me that, that's one of the things that we want to be prepared as a committee, and certainly,
They're well aware of this.
they're well aware too. And, as we've talked about, we recognize that we're hopeful that some people will qualify for paratransit, and, we'll gonna do what we can to support their application to those people that might qualify, to support their application to paratransit if we were to do this. But then beyond that, we're certainly gonna be looking at what other opportunities or possibilities might exist because this is not about, we're not trying to hurt the seniors in any way. We love our seniors.
Well, and for a lot of seniors, they're going to get better access to transit.
That's right.
I mean, for those who are able to walk, who are able to access the system, they're going to get much better access to transit than what they have right now, right?
Right.
So but you're right, there's this group, and I wish I knew how many people we were really talking about, right? That currently ride Metro Transit, but won't qualify to transfer to paratransit. Like, I really wish I knew how many people we were talking about, right? So that we could make a plan to really support them and engage them
I
directly.
think we figured out that it was like 10 or 12 people
Something, right,
that ride Lyft regularly, and that
but I don't know how many.
and we
those-
don't know how many would qualify.
Yeah. Yeah.
What instance would be on there? I don't think we can ask that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Does anyone know the cost of Metro Paratransit?
It's just part of the overall cost. So like right now, per student, it's all part of the overall, we pay. We do the same thing with Metro, so I think they're thinking it's gonna be whole thing's like $240, I believe, which is.
I was
Or-
asked if there's a special higher cost for paratransit.
I mean, if there's additional costs we can add on.
For riders.
Or that Metro adds on.
That I don't know. I mean, they just get the paratransit is just part of the contract, so. I don't know if there's anything above and beyond. Yeah, they could do, I can ask.
Laura, are you asking if the rider has a higher fare?
That's right.
Yes.
Oh,
I think they're-
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know offhand, I'll do.
Or we can ask them before.
Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah,
with
I
the
probably could look it up. Is
application
that what you're
fee.
doing, Addie? It didn't occur to me, but I had written down that question.
But I
Yeah,
think finding
so-
out, A, is there an application fee? B, is there support available for people that might need help with an application? And C, is there a higher per ride or pass charge because of paratransit instead of regular Madison method? I think those are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, senior disabled is the fares for people who are seniors or disabled is about 50% of the standard adult fee at Madison
Oh,
Metro.
okay.
So
Okay.
adults pay $2 a ride, senior is $1 per ride. They similarly get discounts on monthly passes and 10 ride cards.
Yeah, so that's actually even, I think it's less expensive than ours.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Thanks. I should have looked that up.
Ours is $1.50.
Of course, they're vacuuming here at the same time. Yeah, so that's a plus two, right? They're gonna get lots of, a lot more coverage. And cheaper if they're a senior riding, just a senior, but.
It's, I mean, they get a bigger scope of area to go to, because it's within the metro. Area, so whenever there's a metro system. Or metro area, they go to the west side of Madison to like, you know, doctor's appointments over there or something.
Okay, anything else on the public hearing?
Nope.
Let's move to the budget.
So the budget, didn't change much. Kind of look at the budget, a couple things on it. Take a look at, there's the green 2022 budget, and then the proposed 2023. So the expenses, the big number, went from the service went from 286,000 to 295,000, which is an increase of $8,535. Part of that is just the increase is 55% of that increase is picked up by the state aid. That, so the overall increase to the property taxes is about $7,000, $6,900 increase overall. The revenues are down a little bit, so I adjusted those. There's not a big change. The big thing is here in 2021, or it's more, I guess, more 2022. The year-end estimates, we show we're going to receive about 273,000, and we're paying out 204,000. We don't really get to keep all that extra money because what happens is they'll audit us. We have to do like the state audits the transit every year. We're a little behind in our audits, but so they'll audit that and they'll take a look at it because we reduced the routes. They'll reduce their state aid to us numbers. So at the end of 2022, once the audit's done, we won't. It'll be more in line with our expenses are, and that total revenue of 273,000. So that'll be adjusted. So it's not like if you're looking at like all this extra money. That state aid will go back to the state. Just because of the change in the costs and the routes. That's how those work. For 2023, we would have the system for a year. We have to fill it out. State aid has to be, the state aid is basically for a year, per calendar year. So once we'll have for a student for the full 2023, and it'll start as of calendar. If we switch to Metro, it'll be calendar year 1/1/24. So what would happen? And just so you know, in 2024, we do still get state aid. So it doesn't all, we'll get state aid to reduce what our payments are to Madison too. So that stays the same.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, there's no reason not to go ahead with budget. From the standpoint of the budget would pretty much remain the same if we go with Metro.
Yeah, probably be a decrease, but once we don't Metro. If they keep doing what they're promising us. So,
Okay.
which I got some numbers from them. in writing. So I mean, it's not official, but it was a good estimate. So more or less.
Good. Any questions about the budget? Okay,
Nope.
we'll move to 5C, discussion of potential committee contributions or suggestions to the city's ongoing expanding DEI initiative. I would just like to say there that, you know, having a real mass transit system with lots of stops throughout our city, including some of the new developments that were just discussed, or near some of the new developments that we know are happening. And trust me, when I say as chair of the plan commission, we're just at the tip of the iceberg, like Monona's become very hot for development right now. In a good way, you know, on Broadway and Monona, where you know, we were hoping that we would start to see things. So we're, so it's just to say that transit's a really important part of that DEI report. And if you haven't read the DEI report that was put together by the ad hoc committee, fantastic ad hoc committee, that operated for about 8 months, and then put together a report. It's got a lot of really terrific recommendations for the city in it, and the mayor's currently, city is currently looking for people to be involved in an implementation team, citizens implementation committee, if you will. And there's applications available as always on the city's website, but I would encourage people to read that report because I think it's very well done.
And Nancy doesn't know she have been working with our consultants and the mayor. Eventually what they want is, which in the next couple of months, is to have that report she's talking about come to all the different committees and have the committees kind of read through it and find stuff in there. So we'll be coming here to transit to kind of take a look at that.
I actually did know that, which is why I was recommending that you read it in advance. So, yeah.
So yeah, we're looking in that and gonna start having that. Sorry about that.
That's right. No, that's all right.
I think this is one of the reasons I've always been on this commission, is because I think transit plays a big role in that. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah. Great. Anything else on DEI? I think with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right.
We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thanks. See you on the 20th.
Yeah,
All right.
look forward to it.
Good night. We'll be there.
Yeah. Wear start wearing your Halloween costume.
There you go. Come as a bus.
Yeah, right. There you go. Come as a bus. Good idea. All right.
Good night.
Thanks much. Have a good evening. Doug, feel better.
Sorry about that.
Go up to stock share.
Oh, there we go. Good news, all that stuff.
And then you can end the meeting.
Stop.
Yeah. Say yes to
Yes.
stop recording.